Good afternoon, beautiful people, and welcome to the Little Things We Can Do podcast. On this podcast, we talk about the little things that we can do, that parents can do to help their children navigate this crazy and beautiful world. It's Christmas Eve, and I'm feeling the vibes to make this recording. And I want to talk about young people rushing to become adults. And I think when you're young, you have the assumption that when you get older or when you become an adult, all will be well. And it's not all that it crops up to be. And I want to say to young people that the shortest time of any human being life is their childhood. And I know society says when you're 18, you're an adult. And that's not true. Because for you to become an adult, some things that as a human being, you must be able to do. And that's feed yourself, financially look after yourself. Are you emotionally ready to become an adult? Can you wash your clothes and look after your personal hygiene? And I'm gonna go through those step by step because a lot of young people are saying that I'm an adult and they can't cook themselves a meal. Feeding yourself is one of the things that you can say, I can do this, I can look after myself. As in, go to the shop, buy the food, prepare a balanced meal. I'm not talking having noodles or just making pasta. Prepare a meal where you have your protein, your carbohydrate, and your vegetables. Can you do that? Then that's one tick. Financially, can you hold a job down and pay your rent and buy your food and buy the little things that you need for yourself? Because a lot of young people are working, but the money they work could not pay a month's rent. It could not look after their car. It couldn't even buy the bus pass for a month. They still got to come to parents and ask for money. The other thing is, can you wash your clothing? Can you wash them, press them, and get them ready, for the week ahead? Can you look after yourself? Are you able to brush your teeth properly, give yourself a good wash? Look after your own personal hygiene, your hair, everything. Can you do those things? So a lot of young people are chasing to become adults and you're not ready for it emotionally because until you're about 25 years old, the part of your brain that makes big long-term decisions haven't developed yet. So if you're rushing out at 17, 18, taking on adult stuff, having a baby, going off and getting married, running away with your love, you're not ready for that long-term commitment because your brain is not ready for what that responsibility means. You're not. So, but there's a few things. We got to think, what is the pull factor? Why young people want to get older? Is it that they figure if they get older they won't need to follow the rules of their home? Is it that they see siblings that are older and maybe doing good in life and they want to get there? Is it that someone tell them that when you're old enough you can get certain things done? What is the push factor? Is it family life is so bad that you're rushing to become old? Is it that you don't want to follow your parents' rules, so you're rushing to get out there and become an adult? Is your parents are so strict that you feel that you don't want to be under their roof anymore? There's a lot of things, and also culturally, in the Western world, most young girls and young boys want to become an adult. I don't know what's the glamour of it. When you're 9 and you dress up and pretend to be an adult, it's very nice because at the end of it, you can go back to being 9 and know that you're going to school, parents are paying the bills, you're getting your shoes, your clothes, your food, you're spending money, and everything's sorted. It's all good and well. But I'm telling you, young people, once you hit that adult age where you've taken on responsibility, there's no going back. If you should meet some adults now and have an honest conversation with them, they will tell you that they wish they were in their parents' home being looked after. So I'm saying to our young girls, especially, do not rush to go out there. Do not rush to leave your parents' home and rent a house. Do not rush to leave your parents' home and have a boyfriend and have babies. Because the responsibility that comes with that is not something that you can put away after 1 week or 1 month when you get bored. When you have a baby, you're responsible for that child. You're responsible for that child until that child is about 25 years old. So can you imagine if you are 17 years old and you have a child? So that's a child having a child. Or even if you're 18 when you say you're an adult, you're still a child. You're not ready for that responsibility. So I'm saying to our young girls, especially, stay in school, get your education, get a qualification, start your career before you think of having a child or marriage. And for the young boys, it's a little bit different, where most of our homes, young men are told to grow up faster, and they assume the man role, especially if there's no father. So for them, they might feel like I need to leave school and get a job. And I'm saying to our young men, if you stay in school a little bit longer, you might be able to get a better education, better job to help your family. And what's happening when you rush out as young men, you find yourself ending up, you have one baby mother, two baby mother, three baby mothers. Why? Because the girl you start out with, you want that girl, what you weren't mentally or emotionally ready for that. So you start. Then as she grow, you grow apart, you get older, you leave. Then you run into another relationship. You still haven't find yourself. You're just trying to be a man. And then when you hit about 25, 27, that's when you really start realizing, okay, I need to make better decision. Then you might find your third girlfriend or a wife, and you decide to get married. Now you've left two girls, two children behind. Because when you started pretending to be adults, or when society told you, when society told you you were adults, you weren't ready for it. And I'm just saying this to young people. Don't rush to become adults, because once you get here, there's no going back. If Just imagine if you live till you're 70, three score and ten. The shortest time of your life is between birth to 18. Because once you hit that threshold and you start to think you're a man or you're a woman, that's all you're gonna be for the next 42 years. While if you stayed at home, get a qualification, get your education, find yourself. Because that's the other thing. A lot of young people are rushing out to become women and man, and they don't know yourself. I honestly can tell you, I start to really know me when I was about 35 to 40. That's when I start to know who I am, what I want, but yet still I had children. I had children. And I still couldn't, if you should say to me, what do you want when I was 25, I couldn't answer you. I knew some of the highfalutin things that I needed. But I couldn't structure a full comprehensive detail if things of what I needed at 25. You can't, because you're not ready for it. And then you throw a relationship into that mix, throw children, throw the bills into that mix. You're gonna just have confusion. You're gonna have dysfunction. You're gonna have delinquency. You're gonna have heartbreak. You're gonna have children with parents who are not emotionally balanced to look after the child. Hence, the child don't know how to look after their emotion. And that's what's happening to society. Children are having children, and social workers are picking up the pieces. Because when you meet a mother, you said, what age did you have these children? I was 19. You're not ready for that. But if we strip it back, say 40 years ago, 50 years ago, your 19-year-old grandmother, they were ready for, they could look after children, because from they were very young, they start, most our grandparents, they start cooking from about 8, 9, 10. So they know how to cook, they know how to look after themselves, they know how to look after a house, they know how to do dressmaking, they know how to comb hair, they know how to cook. So and when they had their children, they still had their mothers and aunts around them to help them. But most of us, We've gone off to a new country, we've gone off to a new city. You have a child, there's nobody there to guide you, who is a young person with a child. So then you find yourself taking on the whole world of responsibility. And there's no one there to guide you because you cuss out your family and you're gone. So just imagine a girl living in London, she find a boyfriend in Nottingham, she's gone off. Then you find out, oh, she's got a child. There's nobody there to help her. There's nobody there to teach her how to look after herself after she have the baby, how to make porridge, how to hold the baby, how to sing to your baby. There's nobody there to guide you. Before you know it, she and that boy break up because her emotions are running crazy. He's a young person, doesn't know what he's doing with himself, and they've brought this little beautiful thing into this world, and they can't look after it because they're not mature enough to deal with it. So I'm saying to you, young people, stay in your parents' home as long as you can. Get your education. I'm saying this especially to the young girls because most of the time you get pregnant, that boy can still go to university. He can still go off and get a career. You're left holding that baby. I'm not saying you can't get pregnant and go back to school because you can, but you need the support of your family, your friends to help you. And it's going to be hard. It's hard to go back to school and study when you have a baby. So I'm going to suggest to you go down the road, primary school, secondary school, college, university, career, go down the road one time, have that child, and then meet somebody, get married, have the child. But what's happening? You get in halfway, get to college, you have a child, you drop out of school for 5 years. The boy is gone, you probably get back into education, he's gone off, and you're left holding this baby. And your claims to be an adult, but you're not ready for that. And then you see her at 27, she's going back to college, she's going to university, and that is fabulous. I like that because you can pick yourself up and go. But what if you would go down the road in the right way? Get your education, get your career, meet somebody, get married. Because by the time you get your career, you're about 22, 25, 26. By then you know who you are. That's one, and you know what you want. And so when this young man meets you, he himself in his 20s have his career. So both of you are financially stable, you're emotionally balanced to an extent, you kind of know who you are and what you want. Well, I see young girls 17, 18, 19 having children. Baby girl, you're not ready for that. And when you're 17 and 18 and you have a child, your life stop for a bit. It stop because you can't do the things that you want to do. You can't go the places you want to do. I don't know if how much of us heard of that little one who locked the baby in a room and went off to a party. I think the child died or something like that. Because she was trying to have a good time, even though she has become a mother. When you become a mother, your party days are over, girls. But the boy can still carry on partying because you're left holding that baby. So I'm saying to our young girls, do not rush to become an adult. And do not let society tell you that because you're 18, you're a woman. You're 19, you're an adult. You are a young woman. And in that stage is when you learn to find yourself, learn how to cook, learn how to feed yourself, learn how to dress. Because most of you are not dressing right. You're anemic because you're not eating right. You can't cook yourself a balanced meal. And when you're young, you pick with your food and your mom buy your vitamins. When you get older, you're still picking with your food and you don't know how to top yourself up. Young people, I'm saying to you, boys, girl, male, female, whatever you want to be, I'm saying to you, do not rush to become adult. It is not all that it crops up to be. Because once you step over that line and say you're an adult and you start taking on adult responsibility, there is no going back. You cannot go and say, I don't want this baby. You've already had the child. You can't decide, okay, the child is 5, I'm going to bring it back to the shop. You can't. You're left with that child and you are emotionally imbalanced. And then you feed that thing into that child. You're stressed, you're depressed, and you're feeding that stress and depress onto that young baby. And it's no fault of your own. You went out and get yourself try to do adult things when you weren't ready for adult things. So I'm gonna cut this off because I don't have a long time tonight. And I'm saying to our young men and women, stay with your family, stay at home, especially if it's a safe home. I know sometimes there's dysfunction at home, there's abuse, physical, verbal abuse, and young people run out. That's the push factor. They run out because they're trying to find comfort in somebody else's arm, they're trying to find safety, and you end up getting something else. If that's the case, find someone to talk to, find someone to give you good help. Go call up the council, find somebody who can help you. But don't live with a boy or a girl, because that doesn't work. But if you're in a safe home, I'm gonna say to you, get your education, get your qualification. Once you have those two things, and if you even get out there and you fall, it's easier to pick yourself up than to have nothing, no qualification, nothing, and trying to make life with a child. Young girls, especially, get your qualification, get your career. Once you have that, people don't mess with you too much. Young boys, you we expect you to carry the mantle. You are the head of your home. You are the high priest of your home. You're the husbands to be. Get your qualification, get your career. So when you meet that woman, you can look after her emotionally, financially, physically. Because most of us are just getting attracted physically to each other, and we can't look after each other emotionally, and we can't look after each other financially. Hence, we have loggerheads, fallout, heartbreaks, and everything going wrong. I'm going to pray a simple prayer. And this is it. Lord, watch over our children that as they grow, that they may make the best decisions and they may try to garner some sense of knowledge before they rush into adulthood. Bless them, Lord, today, tomorrow, and for all time. This is Nisha signing off, and I hope you find value in what I just said. Good night. Goodbye. Damn.